G'day, Rowan from Sundew here. Just put together a few snippets of some video we took in the lovely town of Braidwood in New South Wales a couple of weeks ago. I travelled there to have a look at the Vespex Dominator and tunnel baiting program that's been put in place, and I'll show you a little bit of that now. This initiative is being carried out by one of our Vespex Accredited Specialists and the Queanbeyan Palyurang Regional Council. You can see in red there areas where there have been stations put in place, and we're particularly going to first off have a look at this area where the arrow is now along the creek there. We took a short drive along there. There are stations, Dominator bottle traps, as well as our bait tunnels in place. There's been a very strategic approach to putting both the Dominator traps, which are there for baiting queens, and the bait tunnels, which are there to reduce those colonies that are still really quite active even now. They've come through the winter, and there are a whole lot of worker European wasps still around to take the bait back to the colony. We'll be able to knock some of those off early. So this is just an example, and you can only see maybe a tenth of the stations that are out. They're placed some further back towards the creek, some are up to the road, some of them are put in place so that people can see that something's going on, because the people of Braidwood are quite suffering from what's going on with the wasps.
Great cooperation from Palyurang Council. Sean in particular has been so concerned about the effect of the wasp on the community. And we've got maybe about 28 or 30 traps in this whole community garden that we're about to look at.
The area that Mike's talking about there is where we've got the arrows on the map here. So it's a very long section, as he said, 28 to 30 stations, and so they're regularly placed along there. We found a lot of wasps in these stations. When we came along to check, you can see there's just a couple of queens that we can see in there. There's a whole lot of dead flies. When we looked at it, there were actually about 8 or 10 queen European wasps down in the rest of the muck. So this is being very effective, and I'm sure that there's going to be quite a reduction for the people of Braidwood in time to come. So there are also, as I mentioned, some bait tunnels out, and when we had a look at those, interestingly, we were finding dead queens in them, so it is attractive as well, of course, to them, and some of them have obviously been coming back. I'm not Steven Spielberg, by the way. Look at that footage. So in there, three European wasps, queens, and of course the real damage that these bait tunnels do is the workers taking the Vespex back to the colony and eliminating the entire colony. And it just happens that every now and then you get, in this case, a few queens. Often there's dead workers just caught in the bait tunnels. But there we go. Quick look at Braidwood. It's coming along really nicely. Congratulations, Mike.